So he's got his move, Craig, to Tottenham, and it's a big money move. What can he achieve in North London?
Really pleased for him. Had a few niggly injuries when we went in. I think he's a player that can play in numerous positions, can play off either side, can play as a 10. What he does for you is creativity. He can play the final ball. His awareness, his scanning, and by scanning, Danny know what I mean in terms of... explain to Jim, Dan.
Explain to me.
He's got
Tell me about scanning.
He's got wing mirrors on, basically.
All right.
He sees everything wherever he always moves into the right place. He knows where people are. But you say, I agree with you. I'm actually disappointed for him in some ways.
Why?
Because I think he's a Champions League player. I think his creativity...
he might become one.
Well, he might, but it's a risk. He's not now. I thought he would get a club that's in the Champions League.
I think, Dan, and I was at Norwich last season, pre-season, we played Celtic. So impressed with them. The way the manager got them playing.
Yeah, me too.
Really impressed. The work ethic of the team, their desire without the ball. And if anything, in terms of James chinking his armour, I want to see him. Can he counter-press? How the manager will want him to. No doubt his undoubted ability with the ball will put players through on goal, will create chances, will score goals himself. It's that work ethic that the manager will demand without the ball.
Well, this is the point I was making, is that I'm not sure that probably why some of the other big boys weren't in. Because I see him as a... It's not that he's lazy.
He's a maverick, isn't he? Seen his maverick?
He's more... What he is, he's reactive with his defending. He's not proactive. And it's it's a delicate point, that one. You know, there's a real difference between someone who you see running about and trying to defend, but if you're proactive and you're bright with it, you don't have to do as much running about. Fernandes is a bit reactive. He's not really proactive with his defending. And Maddison's the same. So what I'd ask you is, although I think he is a Champions League player, do you think he can add that to his game? And is there an element of fitness? Because I've seen him put it in and then have to come off on 82, 78, 84.
Yeah, I think there's an element of all those, but I also think it's the demands the manager will put on him. James is playing on the bigger stage now. He's definitely not lazy. Definitely not.
No,
lazy.
I don't think he's lazy.
No, he's not. And I think sometimes when you are going to win the ball back, it can be timing. It can be timing as well. So, they'll be working on all that. And I'm sure that he will add... He's got to add something to Tottenham, if not just in a creative way. And I'm sure they'll get the other little bits to come into his game as well.
He'll make them better.
Gareth Southgate's in here live on Friday. Do you think Maddison can break in at last to this England team and be a regular for Southgate?
I do. I think playing at Tottenham, he'll be on the bigger stage week in, week out. I do think he can.
Do you think it'd have to be as a 10 though?
I think
Gareth, I think it would.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he can play in different positions depending on who you're playing, because he's a very clever player. Tactically, he's very aware.
Brilliant,
and with the ball, he can find space. He knows where space will be to release himself and then get on the half turn. Once he's then facing the opposition, he can pick the right pass. So I think...
he's as good as there is.
Yes,
in terms of creativity.
he is.
My worry is more the thing where if you play wide and you come off, when you've got the ball, great if you're dominating. But when Tottenham play the big boys, they're not going to dominate when they're playing the other top 5-6 teams. So if you play him wide, does he really want to be tracking 50-yard runs back when you've got Kyle Walker flying or Trent flying? Yeah. I'm not sure that's his game.
That's when I think you pick your games with who the opposition are and what their strengths and weaknesses are. And it could be that in terms of the last 30 minutes in some of those games. But I do see his best position and how he can affect games as a 10.
Yeah.